Well, g'day. How you going? Good to see ya. It's Roger Roadside here with another video. Thank you for tuning in. Look, it's 6 years. I'm just going to put it out there on the table. It's a very wonky table. 6 years. Now, a lot can be done in 6 years. Geez, I can remember when I was like probably about maybe 1.5-ish. You know, around... I can vaguely remember sort of like staggering around. I can remember being in a nappy. I can remember drinking, milk from a bottle. And then that period of time up until I was in primary school and then into grade 1 was a bloody long time, right? That would have been about 6 years. Okay? 6 years is the average amount of time that if someone has gone to the police in regards to being raped or sexually abused, it takes 6 years to get in front of a judge on average in the UK. Make it make sense to me. Make it make sense. Because there's two ways of looking at this. Because you can look at it from the side of the person who's been raped or sexually abused. You can say, jeepers, that's a heck of a long time to wait for justice. It's obviously I couldn't imagine going through that situation, but I could imagine it being traumatic and something that would scar you for the rest of your life. And I don't know how I would deal with it if it was me that had gone through it. So I can't imagine how people do deal with it, if I'm brutally honest with you. But to have that hanging over your head and to have the outcome of potential justice hanging over your head for 6 years is something that is just I don't know, just really I can't fathom it. And then on the flip side of it, because we also need to remember that a lot of these cases are based on just another person's accusations, and if you are the one being accused of that situation, and what if you are actually innocent? Because, let's face it, from time to time, that happens. And, if you're having to wait 6 years for that trial to go ahead and to get in front of a judge and to, get that sort of sorted, again, heck, that would be such a... Like, I know when I get like a speeding fine or something like that, or some sort of, really shit news in the post, like a parking fine or something like that, where I didn't realise that, I was supposed to rub my stomach and tap my head before I got out of the car, and that meant that, I've got a £70 parking fine that I wasn't sort of budgeting for. Like, I feel crappy when I get something like that. I feel crappy when that comes through the post, and it really ruins my week. Now, I couldn't imagine, I've said this already, this video, but I couldn't imagine being accused of something that I was pretty confident that I didn't do and that I was innocent in, and have that sit over my head for 6 years. This place is a joke, like, really. And look, a lot of people say, well, if it's a joke, go back to your own country. Well, I can't, because I've got family here now, and I've got a little one, and my missus is British, and she doesn't want to leave because she wants to be close to her family. But so, I've got no choice, essentially, if I want to keep my family together. So it's not that simple. However, if I'm brutally honest with you, from speaking with some of the friends and stuff back at home, it doesn't seem like Australia these days is too far diverged from the UK. if you catch what I'm drifting and if you drift what I'm dropping. It's just one of those situations whereby there's a lot more similarities these days between Australia and the UK, probably more so than ever before. So look, I mean, it's I just wanted it to bring it to people's attentions. I know it's only going to be about 6 people watch this, and that's cool, but at least 6 people now know that it's 6 years on average that someone who's prosecuting against a potential rapist or abusist gets in front of a judge. And I just think that's an absolute joke. And look, it's not to mention all the other complications. I mean, how many people are sort of getting off scot-free because either people pass away, maybe witnesses pass away, maybe other defendants or the person accusing you passes away. Maybe they pass away in a suspect kind of way because you've got 6 years to plan it. There are so many other complications that this opens up. I'm sure that I'm just trying to think of different scenarios whereby in a close friendship circle that someone who is being or has been abused tries to then go down the line of processing it and getting it and reporting it, and then over the 6 years, I don't know, maybe they get pressure from their other people in their friendship group, or because they then obviously know the truth of the situation. There could be a number of things that goes on. Maybe that person gets a lot of pressure to maybe wind it down or call it off. But it's just crazy. It's crazy that it takes so long for something of that horrendous nature, for people to have to live with and live with hanging over their head for that amount of time. I just think is a joke. And especially for you, especially given the fact that, hey, if I write a nasty comment or two on Facebook, bish bash bosh, in front of a judge, in jail, by the end of the week, I mean, are you having a laugh? There's a lot of talk about this 2-tier policing system and this 2-tier law system and this 2-tier governance and all this sort of stuff. And I think this is just a shining example of that. The sheer fact that there's certain things that get sped through the judicial system is a joke. So look, I just wanted to get your thoughts. Wanted to hear your comments on it. Do you think maybe I'm overreacting? Maybe 6 years is a fair amount of time for a case like that to be heard? What do you think? Do you think that it is a fair thing to happen? I'm sort of stuck here now. Bloody hell. So, see what happens, I don't know if you've seen this, this Sainsbury's is very close to a school, you see, and everyone hides in this Sainsbury's car park, and then everyone floods out when it's time to pick up their kids, to pick up their little gremlins, and take them home. And then what ends up happening is between 3:30 and 4 o'clock, this just becomes absolute gridlock. But anyway, that's enough about this. What are your comments on that topic? I'd love to hear from you. Make sure you like and subscribe. Really love you to subscribe if you can, because obviously I need to get to 50 so we can have live conversations and we can be friends. That a long time ago, we used to be friends. That would be great. I'd really appreciate that. Listen, I hope you have a good rest of the day, guys. This is Roger Roadside signing off, saying love you long time. Ciao.